right, everyone. Sorry, I got excited. I got on my special grand finale shirt. This is the 10th episode, the 10th show in the season. Tom, how you feel about it?
I feel great.
Give me a reflection, man.
I think
All
I
right,
think
let me give you 2 seconds. I'm going to show off some fancy, slightly updated brand infographics or graphics. You ready? Check this out.
uh,
All right. Boop. Wow, huh? Fancy. Mmm. It's pretty cool. How you like this one?
I think you like it more than I do.
Yeah, well, it's pictures of myself. That sounds weird. I I don't know. It's branding for a show. Um, I think anyone that's watched knows. Yeah, it's about the content, not the pictures of stuff. But thanks for pointing that out, Tom.
Yes, yes, yes.
So let me go one more slide, then I'll ask you that same question again, right? So the reason this episode is so special is because, well, one, this has been a lot of hard work, and it's kind of a culmination and a fun thing. I think if you're really going to produce a piece of media that's significant to have a celebratory thing at the end. So that's what we're doing. But what I did, there's a lot of artistry through these shows and in the book, and it's supposed to really help people compare visual to text and the mindset of what it takes and how these things can weave together. So largely what I've got is a show with just graphics, but we've got a few introductory pieces to take care of. I've never seen someone do it quite like this, which is also exciting for me because I'm a creative, but certainly people have made the longish PowerPoints. Um, should I tell them at the beginning how many PowerPoint slides there are in here? Probably not.
Go ahead. Yeah, I think
No,
it
no, no, no.
reflects
Let's
well
let
on you.
people guess at the end.
All right. If
All
they
right.
guess right, they'll get a free book. Because
The
I've had to
book's
guess.
free.
I know.
Thanks, Tom.
I've had to guess the 10 different languages, including Huttonese, through the course of this to get to a free book. So other people
Yeah,
can do
yeah,
it
yeah,
too.
yeah. Huttonese is
Yeah.
what Jabba the Hutt. Yeah, we talked about. Actually, we did translators too here in this, and the Jabba the Hutt translator was. It was hard to guess, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So
Um,
let's move ahead, and then the thing I want you to do. The question I asked before is, what are your thoughts about the show? And I'm gonna start and give my reason for doing the show. And I think, take a few minutes and tell the story. I mean, obviously there's a financial reason, but there was more to it. Just say something about how you feel about the work, what you hope it can help people do, and stuff like that. All right.
right.
All right. So we're about 3 minutes in. All right.
And ready to go whenever you are. So,
Yep. So this is the entire reason I did the show. For everyone out there in TV land or YouTubeville or LinkedIn, I did the show because I basically got replaced by AI. All right. And a lot of people are scared of it. A lot of people are scared of it. And this show has a lot of deep dive strategy and operations and stuff. And the whole reason I was motivated to write the book and do this show is because it's going to happen faster than anything we've ever seen, and there will be droves of people out of work. And that hurts my heart. Okay? I've been through so many downsizings. Every time it's hard. And I wanted to do something. I was like, well, there's no fighting it. There's no sticking your head in the sand about it. You have got to face it. And as I was going through automating all this stuff in sales, automating this stuff in marketing, automating video, AI video through direct email, and then talking to 20 startups about this generative AI stuff and trying to sell platforms for it. And what else? Writing the book. Every show helped me create generative AI something. This was a meme, but I made it funky, for entertainment value. But this is it. This is why I did the show. If someone goes through this, I really believe it will help them get on track to a generative career as opposed to a white collar career, which is going to be different, very different. So, with that said, before I introduce Tom on the next slide, Tom, that was long-winded, but I needed it to be heartfelt. How'd I do? Was it heartfelt?
It's the truth of it. I've been there with you through the last 20 some months. This
20, and yeah, we've been doing work together 20 years. And certainly you've seen all of my ups and downs. And then, yeah, what did you just say? That was the first part, but you said the second part. What was it?
I've seen you go through this for the last 20 plus months.
Oh,
And this
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
really,
Sorry.
it absolutely is authentic and heartfelt.
Yeah. Yeah. And the 20 months, Tom, and I've been talking about this stuff. Like it's been a blast to learn all this stuff and to figure out how to help other people with it. So, with that said, and Tom, your generative AI usage has gone up quite a bit during this time, hasn't it?
I, in some ways, I hate to say, but I guess I interact with it 3 to 4 hours a day, a solid 3 to 4 hours a day.
All right, on
So
this show, we're taking a little bit more personal time. If this is the only one you've seen, we definitely start a little more jumping into it at the beginning. But yeah, I'm with you. I use it all the time, and I'm constantly figuring out what else it can do for me. Which is I think when you get to that point, you kind of can't see the world through a different lens. Like all of a sudden, I started looking at every program I use as me training a machine. Right? No. A prompt is like, no. You didn't do it quite right. Let me be more specific on my instructions. R2D2 before you do that job for me, right? It's just now I can't see the world the other way. Does that make sense?
yeah, I mean, I view it as my long tail of infinite interns
Yeah.
who work really hard, give me instant feedback, instant turnaround, and
Yeah, it's just
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
It just keeps going deeper and deeper too. So, with that said, Tom, I'm going to start the special part of the show. Although, look at that. How many Toms are there on this graphic? Did I make that point? There's a bunch of you. Hmm?
Well, yes,
Now that I
I,
say it,
I'm telling somebody to go clone themselves. I think is a politically correct way of what might be inferred, but
go clone yourself, man. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, go clone yourself, man. Is that what you mean? That guy was
yeah,
a
you get it.
that guy was a cloner.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Mother
Uh,
cloner? Is there a mother
there
cloner?
we go. Enough, enough.
Yeah, I pushed that one too far. So, this book really started, and this is a bit of Adam talking about the book, right? Like, so it's like I'm taking a little bit on a museum tour, but it'll get into just visually something pretty cool. Coolest thing I've ever done, I think, visually. But ChatGPT, Dolly made all these, and so we talk a lot about being in step one versus step 10. And step one, this one was like, again, the theme, right, that I've been trying to weave through the book is red pill, blue pill, right? And then we add some other stuff in the shows. But to me, this ended up being the most innocent picture of the red and blue group, right? And you can see he's chosen the red pill, right?
We have clients who sell red and blue pills, so just we're not
All
doing that
colors,
here.
all colors. But
Yes.
all right, so this started with take the red pill, not the blue pill. Take the pill that is going to give you a new view of reality. And your reality kind of looks like this. I don't know what's going on in the back here. Let me see if this thing's moving. It looks like a mummy back here. Anyway, you get the point, right? So here's where we're going.
Well, the thing that I
Wait.
go
Soak
on.
this one in, man. Soak this one in. That's a pretty one. You see it?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is the old wise man. Not that I'm old and wise, but you want your bots to be old and wise.
And they have hair. Yeah.
Yeah, and I put the glasses on top because it is about seeing the world differently. I think a lot of people are fearful because they're here and they see a big bad wolf coming. It is scary. It is scary to be replaced by AI. I will tell you, I had a existential moment where I was like, am I gonna be in the same career? Am I gonna be replaced in 2 years? Do I need to change careers? I mean, if you smell or see automation coming your way like that, you can't help it. And then when it happens to you, you're like, oh, good Lord, I better learn how to do these and help other people do these. Um, you know, just be there for them, I guess. But check this out, Tom. Like, this is about having the right glasses to see the world through the lens of bots, right?
The now I'm going to give you my overly analytical view of your artistry.
Okay, fantastic. Can't wait.
Um, my initial thought when I saw this stuff, it was engaging, but so what? And what I found as I've delved into this is it is a very interesting way to learn more about the prompt engineering process, more about the creative process. And because you get images back almost instantly, it is something that allows you to get feedback and refine what you're doing.
Yeah,
And it lowers the bar for education. It lowers the personal impedance to education, is what I should say. Because you
yeah.
can get very comfortable with these things and working with other, with what others have done and
Yeah.
modifying them further. And all of a sudden, you really accelerated your way through some of this, which would have been a little bit dry otherwise.
A
And
little.
and I really have to say for the I thought it was initially a little too much with the imagery, but I've changed my mind, and I've delved into each of these things, and I've gone in and I've seen how they're constructed, and I've screwed with them, I've constructed them in ways that I thought would be more appropriate or would reflect my views of things. But the important thing is I've learned how to manipulate them and how to get that immediate feedback in a very rich way, as opposed to saying, I'm going to go look up a bunch of links and see if that stuff's true or not, or what's really important.
Yeah.
Um, so,
Yeah.
from a learning process and an engagement process, you can't have enough visuals here.
What do you mean by that last part?
I mean, you you start with
You mean
them,
in terms of engaging people's neurons and the
and engaging everything from a learning process. Yes, and we
visually
have
rich helps explain? Yes.
and you move through your own learning journey so much faster if you go through it that way first or at the same time.
Yay. Objective accomplished. If that's the main thing you got, keep going.
Yeah, and and I am overly analytical. People would say an engineer versus a creative. Um, uh, I can't really deny those things,
But
but
you now have new
they
creative
have
skills.
actually tremendously. And sometimes you don't know what to do with it. But I've even, my significant other is a true artist, and she was a bit put off by the. You created that? That's
Mm, illegal.
you're cheating.
Yeah, you're
You're
not a good
cheating. You're not.
artist.
You're
Bad
not an
artist.
artist.
Bad
You're not
artist.
an artist. You are
Go
not
get
an
in your
artist. You
cage.
created
Bad
that.
artist. Go get in your cage.
Yes, yes. You engineered that. You didn't create. It wasn't. So anyway, leaving all that aside, um, it's been a tremendous aid for me to go through. From a learning perspective, I can't say enough good about it. So
I
uh,
appreciate that. I appreciate that. I haven't been hyping that angle that much, but that's a beautiful testimonial. I really appreciate it. And I want to add something on there, but you were about to say something else before I jumped in.
yeah, I mean that you always said, "Oh, do I have too many graphics? Do I have too many whatever?"
There's
No, you
never
don't.
too many graphics.
And to be able to move through them relatively quickly, but
Yeah,
everything is there, so people who are interested can jump into how is this done? How could I do something different with it? How could I make it very different, but
yeah.
yet still express something perhaps in a different way? But that ability to run through the learning process was just so much faster that way. Because I have to admit, I put my head down and did the other way too, and
Well,
that that
let's
kind of
talk
sucks.
about that because that ends up being the whole purpose of this show, right? To
Yeah,
help a lot of people do that is going to be good in my book. And then hopefully those people will eventually help the other ones that aren't figuring AI, do it better, faster. But I promise if you watch this show, it will advance your career because I'm giving you everything I got that I've learned about this. And it's a lot. And hands-on, I've done it. It's not just I'm telling you how, it's I did it and let me show you. In any event, I've been thinking, do we want to be long-winded in the front? And yeah, I'm going to be a little long-winded here because this is our time to grab the mic and just talk about the show for a minute, almost like a talk show. Um, and I don't care if this one's long because it was worth it. And it's beautiful. I'm very excited to share it because Tom, all the artistic stuff, I'm just bringing together into like this, visual documentary, like I said. But you feel like, based on what you were saying, one is going through this. It's really forced you. I keep saying this. Everyone is a prompt engineer. I keep saying it inside my head. I think I've said it out loud the first time just now, but when you start interacting with this thing, it is teaching you as much as you are teaching it. You are learning how to program R2D2. That's what you're doing. R2D2, go pick the corn. R2D2, go pick up the kids from school. C3PO, you know,
and I would disagree with you totally
ah,
because those R2D2, all it did was made noises and gibberish
that's my
back at you.
point. That's my point. But yeah. Okay, so pick another bot, C3PO. I don't care. But the point is, like, you learn to create songs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I learned how I could do. I mean, I already knew I could do creative direction, and I still have graphic design, but I haven't had a team of them at my beck and call, basically. We've gone through so many depths of prompt engineering at so many levels of depth that it really gives people a very wide perspective of the tools available. I think everyone's natural inclination is to go, holy cow, right? Everyone says, holy shit, holy cow, this is insane, this is crazy, oh my God, that's awesome. Those are the five things everyone says when they're playing with the thing. But when you go through and you learn to get deeper and deeper on prompting, these 3-word answers, aren't the same as giving it 20 words. And I think people get that, but then they don't realize just how many places they can stick it in their life. And when you look at the world that way, it's like, whoa. So let's give an example. Did you have something else to say?
I'll just go with that for now. If that's the big one, then that's all that's needed. There's all sorts of stuff
Okay.
we could,
But
but the big
needless
one
to
is
it was intended to teach you design thinking about this stuff. That's what my undergrad degree was in. In any event, so let's give you an example. Tom and I say we have a generative consultancy and creative agency. Let's just say we have that, which we kind of do. But on the left, you know, you're giving input. See, I added the elephant, so I'm the blue haired guy, I guess. And then I literally have run bots and refined and learned in every one of these areas. So a box is like one type of strategy research, one type of sales, one type of, sales execution, marketing execution, creative execution. This is basically what's been brought to bear in this whole show. And we used the book model to help build the show. And we're acting as an example ourselves of creating media and using AI to do it and explaining to people the business of it while we're doing it and building and refining our own bot army to do this. Like, I've already taken these shows and fed it into something and it cuts it up automatically and all that stuff, into what it thinks the most interesting 5 things are in whatever package I was using. In any event, so getting your company here, whether you're a consultancy, we'll get into other kind of companies, but if you have a consulting arm in your software company, this is the way it works. Now, if you're hire a high-end consulting, I guarantee you they come with knowledge bots. This is just the way the world is. So, Tom, thoughts before we keep going?
Yeah. In our own business or our own client stuff, we like to put the little dollar sign over there on the right, which is basically some way, that ends up in some measurable outcomes and some way to monetize it.
Yeah.
And that view of monetization and being able to
All right, we're getting too sticky. We're going to keep this show more emotional. Although I'm worried that we're boring people for 20 minutes, but I'll figure out how to deal with that. All right, so check this out. Pretty cool, huh? Fractals. Whoa. In any event, so this is what we talk about. This is where people are starting, right? It's a little bit here and a little bit there. And this one is the same, but then no one's talking to each other. And now you've got this beautiful visual mess that has some order to it, but it's mainly chaotic. That's if you go backwards and you create the wrong bots and nothing's coordinated. You get to step -10. But if you get to step +10, this is the visual we show on the show all the time. All of a sudden now you've got structure for this thing to create value. All right, getting from step 1 and avoiding step -10 and getting to step 10, this is a big deal, but it is not a 3-year process. Honestly, I don't care how big your company is. In any event, it matters how much capital you have access to. And then here's where we go from there, Tom, right? Watch. Boom. That's what you can have. That's now what we have. All of us. Its richness is a different thing. And then, yeah, go ahead.
The underlying bot technology, the basis for this, the models that are released, whether it be ChatGPT 4.0 with its various derivatives, we're expecting 5.0 in the future. Each one of those pushes the envelope in a big, big way, introduces so much more capability that's available to everyone.
Yeah.
And so that, the underlying technology vendors are rapidly enriching this so that what you do with it can be enhanced even further.
Yeah. Can you please summarize my book? I'm just curious because, today of all days, we decided to do the finale is, 24 hours since ChatGPT dropped, right? For Omni, right, which is ahead of Turbo. So I couldn't tell when I brought up my bot here, which is the book bot, if I had a selector. I don't know, but I'm just curious if it does something way different than what I saw before. Yeah, I can't really tell. Can you please, let's see if it learned this. Please tell me the goal of the book. Oh, let's see if it recognizes this. This should be an easy one, but who knows? Yeah. There you go. Look at that. Wow. I think this is the new one. Educate, showcase, illustrate changes, provide insights, serve as a comprehensive guide for leaders. And I couldn't have written it better myself.
You do realize that
I think that's the advanced one. That did better than the last time I was asking it simple questions.
if you put that at the very beginning, people might not stick around for the rest of your talk track.
Well, they might not.
Yeah.
But we'll be releasing this in a bigger way soon. In any event. All right.
Yes.
So the reason we see is people not being able to move through this is a lack of knowledge. For example, here's 42 things we talk about. Actually, we put this slide up and talk about the concept of it. Many of this is covered, but not box by box. I'd say a lot, almost. I wouldn't be surprised if we've covered all of that, just not box by box. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have. In any event, so to get from 1 to step 10, people really got to learn how to speak this language. They got to learn how to speak this language. All right. Start from here, a blank slate. All right, always dedicate the book to my daughter. Always give gratitude from everyone I've ever learned to. If this has been if you think we did a great job, help our fellow humans, please repost and promote it. I would honestly like to help as many people as possible get through this in a healthy way, in a good way. All right. It did a better job on the goals, but yeah, we're here to help business leaders improve outcomes, whether you're on the business or tech side. We want to go on this journey together, so we'll be interacting with people on social media. And then I'm just going to quickly give a handful of diagrams in case you missed the book, so you get an idea. There's 4 or 5 pages in here, and I'm not going to really say anything. And then the show will actually start. So this has been like the long-winded, communication to the audience before the show actually starts. All right. And I hope I have my PowerPoint set up right. All right. Right? Just giving people an overview. Going deep on how you automate sales and marketing. Explaining budget changes. Talking about media in general and how AI will interact with the products, the humans, and the media. Messaging. This is prompt engineering at its best. Customer interactions. Anyone that's seen these for 20 years, it's all about to change. We talked about prompt controls, and we talked about daily releases. This covers the gamut of the book. All right. So if you read the book, that's what you get. All right. So we're gonna start the visual documentary now. Exciting. Yeah, so we're gonna get a little bit with the book's imagery and go through that. And what I did is I purposefully removed things from every slide in the book. Again, this is artistic education. This is artistic entertainment. It's not a normal show. But how often do I get to do this? Never. So I did it. So, Tom, you'll find this interesting in that you'll recognize the slides because you've read the book, but you're not going to recognize them right away. They're going to make you think. So if you've read the book, this is like a really, it's like note cards, school note cards on acid is what it is. I'm not giving you note
Might
cards.
be a lot more truth in that than
Okay.
yeah.
The so I don't know how we're gonna go here, so I'll just start with it, and then at some point I've got to add something special. Oh yeah. So after that, after we go through this, which may be long and boring for some people, but it's for intellectuals who like art and artistry and learning. This is like a giant exhibit on art and business and teaching with generative AI. All right. And then when we get to a certain part, I'm gonna cue something up so we get through the rest of it. It's a special artistic point. All right, so here we go. Is this the best place to put it? Dun dun dun! Introducing the Generative Sales and Marketing Show, a visual documentary. Hi. Is my microphone way over here? Is this better?
Sounds the same.
Maybe I'm just talking through my computer. That's interesting. Can you hear me now? How
I
about?
heard you. I'm hearing you the exact same way I heard you all the time.
Oh, okay. It is the microphone. Man, this thing's awesome. All right, so here we go. Here's the book that the show is based on. I'm not sure where I want to put all this stuff, but absolutely the book forms a basis, a small language model that we're building on top of. All right. And I'm gonna have to figure out a better place to put us permanently. It might take me a minute. I'm gonna try it right here so you can see more of the graphics. All right, so this is like the early start. That's a page that's my preface. This is what we're covering, y'all. Executives, examples with kids. How do you do it? What does Adam do? What does Tom and him been talking about? How does everything change? All right. I feel like I'm gonna have to not move us so much. It's probably gonna annoy me. I mean, when I saw that, I was just like, this thing, if I can make it change stuff, remember talking about this? That was show one. Seems like ages ago. So again, what I tried to do is strip away everything from this is the book slides, and I stripped away everything I could to try to leave one main point, right? So that's that one. Doesn't it seem like so long ago that we did this?
And your daughter's probably done 20 of these things since then.
Oh my God, what she does on a computer is insane. So if you read the book, this is reminding you, this is the thing about the human brain is visually, it's something like 98% or 95% of our neurons are used to take input through the eyes. Which is why visuals are so important. And this is factual. I've researched this because, well, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so every time I'm asking
generative AI to keep some consistencies, but to change. I have an army of illustrators at my beck and call. Now, the diagrams it can't do, which is why I made a lot of diagrams in this. The book was written all by hand. By hand. And people can pause this on whatever, but this feels like a good pace. This was these were all the use cases, right?
You left all the military ones off of there, by the way.
Yes, I did not include military use cases.
Yes.
Oh, I saw a robot dog the other day with a gun on top of it. I was like, shit, it's here. Anyway,
Yeah.
this is the stuff that I did starting 20 months ago. And even automated, I use video AI to automate and change the presentation of me by, changing my mouth. In any event, it was a very rustic version, but there's details. If you haven't read the book, you're getting an illustrative preview. These are the things that I looked at into detail about how to solution architect them. I just thought this one was beautiful. It's one of my favorites. Golly, just looking back at this as a documentary, there's just so much information in here. The bot we build out of this is going to be, there's no more books, there's only bots.
Actually, going to be a bot for everybody.
Everyone's going to have more than one bot. Just like everyone has more than one website. One of the things on this slide is just when we talk about media, since I've spent a lot of time there, look at all this text. I tried to make this a different example, but a software related or B2B or B2C related, we're going to put all this stuff in the model. Our version of this stuff is basically sales training, and there's a bunch of other stuff in here that relates to what you're watching. And then this stuff and this stuff. This is how we went through the show if you haven't seen it yet. If anything really jumps at you like a level 10, go ahead and comment. I don't want us I want to get through this part of the book, and then we probably need to strike up a new we might get cut off in 2 minutes. Huh. Well, let's keep going. If we get cut off, we'll just start with it. All right. So, isn't it a totally different feel when you read the book this way, Tom?
I'm not really reading it this way.
But experience it when you experience it this way, right?
It's a great review, really.
It's an interesting review. It's like a visual review. But if you want to remember the diagrams and be able to write them yourself, the brain works better that way. I would say if somebody practices these diagrams, they should be able to, and reads this, they should be able to get on a whiteboard if they got whiteboard skills and help hash this stuff out, right?
You would hope.
Man, I had a lot of fun deleting everything. I think I could have deleted more. For me, since I wrote the book in January, this is a trip down memory lane. I wrote the first version in a week. I still can't believe that. Look how much media has come from it. I liked this guy too. I feel like I should say his name, but I'm gonna drop an F-bomb. Chief no fuck 'em me. Don't screw with him. I think he'll beat most people's ass. Yeah. This guy's cool. And we talked about so many of these slides in the show that you just don't get from the book. I thought this one was awesome too. When I was like, please do a CFO. She's 45, blah, blah, blah. It just like, and then it kept all the arms and stuff. Yeah. So we're getting towards the end of the book here. And some of this, I should maybe release this version of the slide deck because you could actually use this to take your own notes. That would be cool. Ooh, I like that idea. See, I'm creative. I can't help it. I thought she was badass too. I was like, I think I said that in the show. She's like a badass prompt engineer woman, you know. I'm like, my daughter, I'm like, you want to be like her. She's amazing. Smart, kind, good heart, beautiful inside and out, and will whoop your ass in generative AI and martial arts. Yeah, man. This was talking about mentions, remember?
Yeah.
Wow. Yep, that's a big one. I love the Bob Marley. Another one of my favorites. When it made that, I was just like, holy cow. You know, just gorgeous.
It
And
does have 6 fingers. It still has 6 fingers on
did
the
he have 6
outstretched.
fingers?
Yes.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, and the thumb.
Yeah.
I love how it messes that up too. You know, in a few years when it doesn't, or next month when it doesn't, we're gonna look back at the 5 finger ones and be like, that was OG. That was the original stuff, you know, original gangster. And then that's the end. I think for this one, I actually fed it that picture on the right and asked it to do me. And apparently it didn't think I needed a shirt. But, you know, it's a little bit of photoshopping. The nose, my nose is a little different. Eyebrows, I mean, that's pretty damn good. You know, you don't get that when you go to the caricature place at an event and they're putting a big nose on you, you know. All right, so up my personal missions. I do want to move us for this because this is where my head was when I started working on this, and that's what I'm here for. And Tom and I talk plenty about this stuff. So, all right, I think what we've got now is we've got a quicker run through of the chapters. And then we'll start like the automated part, which is going to go through all the visuals of every chapter or every episode. So, Tom, any quick thoughts on the twerking rhinos? I'm going to step out for a sec.
Yeah. Oh, the one with 300 of them, I believe that follows here, is a visual I'd prefer not to have, really. But it is memorable.
Yeah.
It is memorable.
What about so the twerking rhinoceroses? You know, that was the overview. That was the executive summary. Telling the executives basically you don't want 300 twerking rhinoceroses.
Yes.
The big layered burger. That was the Emma show, where we talked about her transformation of illustration. Some of these are getting all mixed up for me. That was whatever chapter 3 was. But each one of these, Gen AI, each chapter had a theme. I could interweave the text and the images in those chapters, load the transcripts. Like, this is an example of how you do it. It's just the medium, the output is a little different than what you might need to do in a marketing department. Although I will say YouTubers should be doing stuff like this all the time. A lot of those YouTubers are better than company marketing departments.
Yeah.
This one I loved. This one I loved.
Yes. Yeah.
There was a couple of these where we were like, people will really learn a lot from this. And all age levels, right? But the bunnies were fun. Customer experience.
I couldn't get you to put a Harvey rabbit in there.
Say what?
I wasn't able to get you to put a Harvey rabbit in there. The
What
6 foot,
Oh,
the
yeah.
6 foot.
Well,
Yeah,
there's always another season.
yeah.
I loved how these came out. That was one of your faves. In fact, you named it Silence. You remember that?
Yes.
You named it Silence because you were kind of strucken.
A dolphin in glass.
Yep. All right. It is Boo. So if you hadn't seen the show, this is what Tom was referring to earlier. We always, I put up some language and speak it to him, and he guesses what it is. So it is Boo. Yumta Dulnwad Kib Irf Yoy Connacht. How did I do on that? I know I nailed that one. Not many people speak this language. In fact, it's rare. I've never heard anyone, like two people, actually speaking this language. That's a hint.
It's not a language then. It's one of your Star Wars languages.
Nope. It is
No.
English and backwards. Free book download at my website. Thank you.
Okay.
You see it now?
Oh, yeah.
That'll screw with your eyes.
It's not a language. It's a juxtaposition.
Yep. All right. So we're going to go deeper. And what I'm going to try to do, Tom, and remember when we recorded music and you're like, I can't hear it, it's gibberish?
Yes.
What I'm going to try to do is play that music again. And it recorded. It was just gibberish for you. So maybe as we swallow the red pill here, you'll get a visual journey of what it's been like. And try maybe turning your microphone off. And if the sound is gibberish for you, I'm sorry, but you already heard the album because I got the Suna album ready. I like when I was doing this weekend and being an artist, we talked about it. It's just, the music cuts through the noise more than any other medium I've followed. And it's just an amazing product if you look at it as a product compared to other products. But I'm a musician, and I never get to do anything like this. Here I can quickly come up with a song, and communicate to the thing. It doesn't take much to come out with something good. But again, you start to learn to craft different things. And so I crafted this album this weekend, and I decided that I'm going to use it now as we go through this, and I'm going to do my best to stay on beat. We'll see how that goes. But the nice thing is I changed my album a little bit, Adam and the Robots. But there's a whole message here, even though it was, trust me, I created a lot of songs before I felt like I was on American Idol. I was like, I love that song, but there's something missing. So these were all songs I liked with this message, and we'll get on with the show. And can you hear it, Tom?
No.
You know what? I think what I'm gonna do. You can hear it at all?
I can hear little bits and pieces. It's gibberish.
Okay, but you hear the music. So if I hear it, you'll hear it later. It's just not coming through to your side.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope it works this way. I thought about it a couple of different ways. Oh, wait, share sound. Let's see if this works. All right, how about now?
Share from the streets of Kingston to the cool light.
Now it works.
Perfect.
Oh, I'm so glad I just found that little feature.
The full
All right,
reggae.
so now we're all going to get the effect. I looked at it for like 10 minutes. I'm like, how am I going to do this? I tested it an old way, and Now I just found the right feature. So with that said, away we go down memory lane.
In a world so vast and diverse, with people from every corner, every verse, from tropical beaches to snowy peaks, different cultures, languages, and techniques, united by the beat that we all share. From the streets of Kingston to the cool night air, we dance to the rhythms that make us move. No matter if we jazz, covers, or reggae groove, the global village that we call home.
Love
Find
it.
connection no matter where we roam. From the jazzy melodies and the smoky bars to the reggae vibes under the shining stars.
Oh, there we go. That's one thing about,
This global village that we call home, we find connection no matter where we roam. From the jazzy melodies in the smoky bars to the reggae vibes under the shining stars.
yeah, it ended beautifully.
Peaceful vibes flowing through the air, soulful rhythm taking us somewhere in this journey. We find love's embrace, my rare beats guiding
I still
us
love
with
this one.
grace. With every step,
You remember
our
that one?
spirits rise, chanting
Remember what we called
Sanskrit,
it?
reaching for
Dennis
the
Hopper.
skies. A contour of the soul, in harmony we sway. Meditation heals, love is here to stay. Breathe in the love, let it fill your soul. Feel the rhythm, let your spirit unfold. In this journey, let the music ignite the binaural beats guiding us to the light. Avalama beats guiding us to the light.
Yeah, see, something.
On a higher plane, we elevate, feeling the rhythm, we resonate. Never beats, they captivate, guiding us on this spiritual escapade. In ancient tongues, the canto chants, Sanskrit hymns, our souls enhance, finding peace in this sacred dance, love transcending with these passing chants. We groove to the reggae, feel the love rise.
All right.
EDM vibrations
Ready?
take
That was
us
it.
to
That
the
was
sky.
fast.
A meditation
There we go. Roll the credits, folks.
This
You got it done, man.
fusion of soul unified.
This feels really good. This was a labor of love. Sure. Whew, all right. So,
You're right.
that was fun. You can see why I was so excited about it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I find that Suno is just a huge time sink for me.
I know. It's amazing though. So they don't have a, they have those little blurbs, but I just wanted to play the slideshow to it, right? Let me pause it. Bye, Suno. See you soon. Well, man, parting thoughts before we say sayonara and goodbye. I'm looking forward to talking to people about this and promoting
Yeah,
it.
I mean this
Yeah.
should generate lots of talk and discussion, and there's a little something here for everyone, and
A
I
little
think it
something.
really it again my looking back through it, it lowers it lowers what's oftentimes perceived as a big step
Yeah.
and make it much more approachable. And I think you've achieved that.
Thanks, man. Well, I hope so. I think, I say it in the book. I ask myself every time, and you know how I pushed myself too hard, but I wanted this to be awesome. And there was always three things that I asked, would I be able to teach my daughter something from this that would help her in her career? Do I believe it's going to have the impact that I believe that people say it is, and I've already lived that. So yeah. And then it was, would I present this at a board level? It needs to be in a different format, but would I give it to a VC or a PE or whatever? And actually, the book just got endorsed by a major VC, which is amazing. So I think I've hit all the check boxes, and I am a grateful human. I don't want to say goodbye. All right, dude. Well, I'm gonna hang up the call.
And thanks for the opportunity to participate in this with you. And
Oh man, I'm so glad you did it. This was perfect for us in our life journey. This was really cool.
Thank you.
All right,
This was
brother.
good.
I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay.
I'll call you in a minute.